What's up, guys? Today we're gonna starting off a new series of Ninja Run, and then I accidentally was taking a video, obviously, and I made another mistake. So sad, yeah, and it just ate my 20 minutes, which was just sad. But I noticed it at 20 minutes. If it wasn't gonna be 20 minutes, I would have wasted 30 minutes, which would have been worse. And then, yeah, let me just explain one by one what has happened in my first take, which I mistaked and had my mic off. Yeah, here we go. So I didn't delete the scratch cat. Well, you can, so you can just start off a new sprite, which probably will be easier. So do that and name it player. And then go to costume and then draw idle costume, sort of like this. And we can start drawing our run cycle. So sort of like this, and 2, and 3. Remember to name it run 1, run 2, run 3, and run 4. Now we have our jump costume, and our front costume, and our bottom costume, and our top costume. These are going to sense our collision, so they are really important. And then, if you guys are wondering how this project is going to look when it ends, it's going to look something like my Shadow Runner. Okay, if you see, Shadowrunner is my featured project, so please check it out. It's a pretty good game, but there are still a lot of bugs, and I am working on too many projects, so it's a little hard to get that fixed. And I have currently removed the lag mode. It's been a long time since I did. And then I added the infinite jump, which you can jump infinitely, which is sort of OP because you never die if you do that. But yeah, it's a fun game. I currently hold the world record of 5,000 and something points. So please check it out. It's my featured project. And there's going to be a link in the description below to my studio, which you can go to the creator tab and then see me as a manager in the studio. So pretty cool. Let's keep on explaining. I have 3 public variables that is named score to store the score, walk to store the walk cycle, y-vol to store my y velocity. And then this list is very important. It's the sensor data list. It's gonna contain the data of all my sensings. And then all these 3 blocks are run without screen refresh, so bottom, and then sense, and the player loop. What player loop is, it's gonna run every tick, which is gonna be pretty nice. So when green flag is clicked, we can set our score and y velocity to 0, show, go to -200 and -40, which is somewhere around here, by the way. And then we could switch our costume to the idle costume, set our size to 200%. It really depends. You guys could change your own value, choose your own value. This just looks nice to me, so yeah. And another when green flag is clicked, we could set our walk to 1, starting off our walk cycle. And then we could put a forever loop, wait 0.05 seconds to give a delay, and if our walk is equal to 4, then set it to 1, else just change it by 1. And then here's the thing, we can create when I receive block, create a new message, name it start. Forever, we can do the player loop. In our player loop, we have to first do the sensing. So we could, according to that, run our player loop. And here it is. This is going to be the most used code in this project, so this is really important that you don't mess it up. We could delete all of sensor data, switch our costume to the top. If touching color black, which is going to be our map border color, add top to the sensor data. And then we can switch costume to the front if touching color black. And then we're going to add front to the sensor data, switch our costume to bottom if touching color black, and then add bottom to the sensor data. It's pretty cool, pretty nice. And then we could get an if-else if sensor data is contained in the bottom, then do the bottom, which before I did that I checked my mic, which was off, so we can do that. You can do that with me a little bit later on. So we could set our y velocity to 0, switch our costume to join, run, and walk. And if our key space is pressed or our up arrow key is pressed, Then we're gonna set our y velocity to 13.89. That's pretty cool, pretty nice. And then yeah, that's all I did. So okay, let's go to motion. Let's change y by 1, and then sense. And then we could get a repeat 10 times. And then we could do if else. Sensor data contains bottom, like that. We could change y by 1 and then sense again. See if it still contains the bottom. And then now we check my blocks. Let's make a block. Still touching. So is it still touching? Probably not, because now it doesn't contain it. But, you know, we could check. Nothing's wrong. We can stop the script after that. And then still touching, we could do if not contains bottom, so that's the sensor data list. And then we could change our y by -1 and then sense. Pretty cool, pretty nice, and very easy actually. Yeah. And then now what what we could do now is get a if else statement, and then if the sensor data contains the top, yeah. What we are going to do is okay, I sort of messed up. It has to be a if, not a if else. We could put create a new block, name it top, run without screen refresh, and then we could put that there. Pretty nice. And then this time in this project, we're gonna make gravity as a variable. Yeah, we could set it to 0 there, and then we could switch our costume to the top. And then we could change our gravity by -1. So that's the gravity. And then again I messed up. Oh my god. Okay, just change the gravity to y velocity. We don't need a gravity variable. It's sort of confusing. And before we move on, I think I want to explain how the jumping works. So if the sensor data contains bottom, which basically means the player is touching the floor, now we could press space or up arrow to jump. Jumping is basically setting y velocity to 13, so it'll just lift it up in the sky. Else, if it's not touching the ground, then it might be in the midair. So we can check if we're touching the roof. Well, are we? Probably not, right? So if that's not gonna happen, we can't leave these here, so yeah. But it's still not touching the ground, but it's not touching the rooftop. We're gonna switch our costume to top. I mean our jump. Okay, I'm making too many mistakes. And then change our y velocity by -1. If that makes sense to you, you're coming along. If that doesn't make sense to you, it's okay. You're gonna improve over time. Now we're gonna get another if else statement, and then let's check if sensor data contains a front. Oops. And then let's create a block. Name it front. Oh, you know what? This probably wasn't a good idea. But anyways, I did it. So let's put a front and then get a if statement and then a less than. So if my x position is less than -245, so like that, and then we could hide if so. And then we could broadcast game over. Nice. And then we could stop the script. Okay. Now the else, what we're going to do is set x. We're going to set our x. Let's go to the operators, get a division. So we could set our x to our x position divided by 1.03. Pretty cool, pretty nice. And yeah. Now the final code is change y by y velocity. Also pretty cool, pretty nice. Now, today's episode is gonna end with us coding the front and then the top. Yeah, these two. So let's do the top first. Yeah, let's do the top first. Let's get, you know what? It's really similar as this, so we could get this. We'll just change that to -1. And then just get the if, you know what? Just trash that. Let's use another method for it. Get an if, and maybe this is not a good idea too. So if contains the top, and then we could duplicate this in here, and again, and then in again, and then we could take this out. So pretty nice, pretty cool. Now we just have to do the front. That's actually easy. So we could switch our costume to the front, and then change our x by -1. And then we can do repeat 10 if touching color black. We could change our x by -1 again. And then we could get an if else statement if data sensor data contains the front. Okay. You know what? Bottom. It has to be bottom. Let's switch our costume to the no, jump. And we could drag that here. We could duplicate that. And then go to operators, get a join, run and walk. And I think that should be it. Or, let's see. Yeah, that is right. Yeah. It's still confusing. But that is mostly all the codes you need. So, yeah, that's like, you know what I mean, all the codes you need for the player. So if we just go that, we could just do that. Yeah, it's gonna start falling because there is no platform yet. You know what? Let's quickly give it a platform, and I'm gonna be back with my epic platform. Okay, that was very okay. Yeah, it's been very long since I did that actually. So okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be back with my epic background. Here's my map, like so, and then that looks pretty cool. And then we go to the player, and then we start the game loop. It's just gonna go like that. Now it's gonna go to the center, and then it's gonna stay there, right? Yeah. And then, you know what? Let's lift the bottom up. Pretty cool. Now the character's actually touching the ground, so. Now the player's gonna do faster steps, which is good. So now it's like, now you see what this does. This set x to x position divided by 1.03. It sort of glides the player to the center. And then if you see, yeah, that's pretty much what it does for now, because there's no obstacles running at the player. But if there were, the player will be pushed till the end of his life. Yeah, I guess that's not really cool, but, you know, that's how it is. And then, so, please hit that subscribe button. It doesn't even take you like 10 seconds. it doesn't even take you 2 seconds actually. Just hit that subscribe button, and then that should be good for me. It helps me out a lot, and then hit that like button too if you can. And peace.